Oh, that hadn't put the page on yet.
Yeah, and that was it. There was a picture on there, and I think it was just like looked like a butt picture of some sort, not like somebody's ass.
Oh, because I was like, what?
Your ass took a picture.
I was like, wait, what?
It was kind of like a butt dial, but it was a butt picture.
But it was a butt pic.
I was like, I got my picture folders mixed up. That was supposed to go in a whole different folder.
I'm glad I didn't put this BC powder in my mouth when you said that shit. I'd be choking out right now. And you got the urban trivia? Mm-hmm. That looks like fun.
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
Wow.
When the BC is just good to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I needed to make sure I got it all.
Oh, Jesus.
It really only makes sense.
Let me make sure I don't look like a coke addict. Do I have like BC at the side of my mouth?
No. Your face is beautiful.
Thank
it's
you,
lovely.
my love.
One of these days, I'm going to be like y'all, and I'm actually going to wear at least a little bit of makeup.
It's the sunscreen.
I know it's minimal with you guys, but I could at least do something.
It's the sunscreen.
Shit. I didn't put on sunscreen. Don't tell my doctor, because she was not happy about that.
Yeah, seriously, do the sunscreen. I promise you.
I tried to pawn it off as eczema, and she's like, that's not eczema.
She was like, try it again,
and
bitch.
I was like, you're right. I'm sorry.
Here, let me eat one of these chamoy shits so that I can get this BC taste. So I'm telling you, BC is the absolute truth, but man,
listen,
I need them to make it taste like dick.
I don't know what it says about me to actually like to taste the BC. I mean, I'm not saying that I swallow dicks regularly, but apparently I don't mind the taste.
But I like it better than... You know what? Seriously, these chamoy gummy bears are also life. And they've lasted for several weeks. But just when you need that little something, this is it. Okay. I'm about to breathe. Y'all ready? Mm-hmm. You hoes ready?
We ready.
Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Multiple Gab Wounds. I am your host, Toni.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Angie. And we are the three Gen X women of color gabbing candidly about anything and everything.
Oh my God!
I love how Toni cracks herself up a little bit every time she starts. She's like, hello, welcome to it's multiple. And then she cracks herself up a little bit.
Because I know half the time I be bullshitting when I'm coming through with this energy, boy. I feel like fake it till you make it, bitch. But that's actually a real concept that absolutely works. Fake it till you make it. To a degree.
Right.
To a degree.
And in a lot of situations, it
Thank
works
you, because
well.
scammers do it, and they actually end up where they need to be through their scamming, and they be faking it all the way until they make it, okay? So I'm going to do it with this energy. I'm going to fake that shit till it come through, but fortunately, I'm in some good energy, so that makes it a little bit easier. If I was in that fucked up negative energy that I was in this past week, I'd be like, fuck all this. I ain't faking nothing for you niggas. I'm not gonna be out here making jokes and being cute jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes. I'm not doing that shit.
I just want you to say the word jokes one more time.
That was by Dave Chappelle. Jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes. I'm not doing that shit. So, okay. So, and speaking of negative energy, I told the girls this on the chat, but I need y'all's opinion on this.
Okay.
I shook a bitch's hand this past week.
Oh no!
A couple of days ago.
Touching people.
And yeah, okay, there's that. But I don't mind. This was in a professional capacity. I met this woman and I reached to go shake her hand, and she put her hand out, but it was like this. And it was limp fingers.
Oh, the dead fish.
Yes.
The limp
Yes.
Yes,
the limp dick hand, like the fingers weren't extended. She just literally like lifted her hand, and I grabbed the hand to shake it and realized I'm squishing the shit out of her fingers because she's not really shaking my hand back.
Oh my God.
I hate that shit
I do
more than I don't know. Let me tell you, the shock of the negativity of that fucking handshake.
It feels disrespectful, like you don't care enough to even engage in a handshake.
Thank you.
Me.
And it to me, it was disrespectful, but more than that, in my head, immediately I go, oh no, like something, like literally you put your dick out and I've grabbed it. And I'm like, that's what the initial shock is to me. And it feels like the negativity just
cold swimming pool
up.
Dick.
The negativity of that handshake went up my fingers into my arm, and literally I shook her hand, realized that I'm getting the limp dick, and then snatched my hand back, and then I took my other hand and I wiped my hand. And I went like,
I'm gonna wipe that whole interaction.
And I tried to, like, in my head, I knew I was like, get it together here, because this is not what you're doing right now is not socially appropriate. However, the energy in my arm says that this has to be taken off of you. I know that sounds weird. I know that sounds odd.
To a lot of people, not us, but to a lot of people.
But I literally snatched my hand back and I wiped my hand with the other hand, and then I wiped that hand on my pants. That bitch looked at me like, the fuck? But nonetheless, I looked at her like, no, the fuck to you.
She didn't understand that she just threw out it.
Yes, and it felt so odd. Now, here's the dealio, folks. I understand that sometimes y'all don't want to shake hands. I get it. If you don't want to shake hands, that's cool with me.
Just say that.
Or if you can't, for religious purposes, shake hands with me, you can simply say, you can put your fist out, and I understand that's a fist bump. You can put your elbow out, and I understand that's an elbow bump. Or you can, or something. But
you can like do the whole Asian thing.
Yes,
and bow.
you can bow to people, and I do bow to people. Like I absolutely,
I've seen you do that. Yeah,
yes, where I put my hands like to my knees and I bow at the waist, because it's just me saying, yeah, I don't want to have any contact with you, but it's me being respectful.
Yeah,
you know. And so it's which people have said, why do you bow to people? And I'm like, just leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
Just because it's universal, it's everywhere. You understand that that's a show of respect, but you're not necessarily like, I don't want to touch you though. But I just thought, but yeah, don't do that shit, y'all. Seriously, I don't know if you need to like take a class or whatever the fuck, but like if you're gonna shake a hand, shake a fucking hand. Shake a hand now.
Now, is it our generation that learned how to do a nice firm handshake?
It was passed on from the people before
us.
Right.
Absolutely, because
Right.
that's culture. Back in the, you didn't shake with clammy hands, and you shook with intention. You
put
shook
your back into it.
Yeah, exactly. You were like,
You shook with your whole chest.
right. And the more that you shook with your whole chest, like the more kind of, so to speak, manly you were, or the more, aggressive you were in business and all
more
of that
confident
other stuff.
and self-assured.
All of that.
Right.
So when you come at me with that shit, immediately I think horribly of you. You're a piece of shit. Sorry. That's it. No, sorry, not sorry. Not sorry at all. You're a piece of shit if you shake with a limp dick.
Originally, I would say that I would think that it was like, oh, no one taught you how to shake hands. But it's like, I don't think you have to be taught that. I think if you come to me with that limp thing, you're just disrespecting me. You just really don't give a fuck about.
I mean, she turned around and said something complimentary to me later, but I kind of feel like it was because she saw me go like I was icked out by it. It was an ick is what it was.
Yeah.
Like I was icked out by shaking hands with her because she did that, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe you do need to be taught that, and I don't feel like I was ever taught that. I don't think I was. For me, I think it was just something that I knew, like you. Right. Like you knew when you got to quicksand, you don't move around, you stop moving. You know what I mean? Right. We were taught that watching shows.
Right. I was just looking over the pictures for that episode, and I was
watching TV. You knew stop moving. You knew to stop moving when you were in the quicksand. But it's kind of like the same thing. It's something that you pick up via society and osmosis. You don't wear hats indoors. I rarely wear a hat, but when I do, I don't wear it indoors usually. You know what I mean? I mean, It's more socially acceptable to do so now, but some folks don't. They'll take their hat off when they come indoors. Stuff like that. I'm just thinking that you should know better by now and to stop doing that shit, especially when you're in the business setting.
No one actually taught me how to shake hands. It's something I learned through life, but how do you get to the...
Shake a hand.
But I was in my early 20s when I really learned it, when I started getting out into the world having to deal with people.
I think it was, for me, I think it was at a much younger age, but that was because of the way that my dad's job was set up. Exactly. Because of the way my dad's job was set up.
Oh, that's right. Y'all were military
regularly we were, what do they call it? Pressing palms?
Pressing flesh.
Flesh, yeah,
Pressing
exactly. We were regularly pressing the flesh. So, yeah, and I don't really still feel like my dad might have said something to the effect of, shake with a firm hand. I think it was just watching him do it and then going, oh, okay, this is how I have to do this.
Right. And it's not just a firm hand. You're shaking it. You've got a good grip. Like your hand isn't just loose. You've got a good grip and you're looking them in the eye.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's that nod that goes along with
exactly.
it.
And it's one of those where your whole body jilts when you do it, or when they shake yours, you're like, oh shit, nigga.
Like,
Right. Because it used to be that, at least men, when they would shake hands, it was almost like a power struggle to see who had the better shake.
And to a degree, I feel that way. Like when I shake certain people's hands, particularly men, and they do that hard ass grip, I'm like, nigga, settle down.
Right.
Settle the fuck down.
They seem surprised though that I have a hard grip.
Yes.
Because they're expecting this limp thing, and I was like, nah, motherfucker. I've learned how to shake hands. Bring it.
You don't know who you fucking with, nigga. That's what we ought to do. We ought to just start coming through and just immediately be going, stick your hand out and be like, shake my hand, bitch. Let's see what happens. You got to give them a whole grimace face and everything. Get like you're getting ready to do like the
arm wrestling.
Yes, and be like,
and just leave it there, like 4 inches from their face.
Like you're getting ready to take them the fuck down. Start flexing your arm and your muscles. Right. And shit.
Stupid. So stupid.
Andy, how was your week?
My week was kind of busy getting ready for the kids to get back to school. I'm so excited to be able to say that. I am so excited to get the kids. I bet
you are. You like, get the fuck out of this house.
Please leave. Please leave. But I had a question for you guys. Just because it doesn't really fit any of my segments. But I was thinking about someone, because I was looking at some old pictures. And I was thinking about when I was, quote, going with or dating someone. What was something that they did that made me go, oh, can't be with you anymore? Nope. So, and the picture I was looking at, he ended up going out with a friend because I dropped him. I went after him hard until I found out he couldn't roller skate.
You're going to be embarrassed at this skate.
We met up at the roller skating rink. I must have been 12, maybe 13. We met up at the roller skating rink, and he was walking around like wobbling like a new fawn on wheels. And I was like,
you were like, that is so nice.
I avoided him the rest of the night. And so then my friend who lived across the street, I'm like, you could have him.
Because that nigga can't skate.
He can't skate. That's embarrassing. That's one of my younger ones. So and then for me, another one was, this is when Ange and I would go clubbing. We used to go to a place called Tijuana Yacht Club. And this guy, he was...
Is that the one with all the black women?
No, that's Spanky's. That's Spanky's.
Spanky's, okay.
Saying that we used to go there is an understatement.
We lived there.
We lived there.
And what we enjoyed about it a lot of times was they would have like this 70s night.
Okay.
Music. Trash disco night.
Wow.
So this one night we went, and this guy was fine. Because back in the day, I love me some bright men. With really clean hair, bright eyes. I was just like, he was fine. And he was built. He looked really good. And he was making eyes at me, and I was making eyes at him, and he like motioned to me to go out on the patio to talk to him because it was quieter out there. So I'm like, all right then. So I got up next to him, and all of a sudden, he put his arm kind of, he was like, nice to meet you.
Oh shit. I literally was gonna say that. That is what I was gonna say. Oh my god!
And I was like, "Nice to meet you." I think my friends are looking for me.
Fuck, nigga, you couldn't even put it together for one night. Hello, nice to meet you, and then get in the bed and be like, "Oh, that was wonderful," or whatever. Oh, embarrassed.
Yes. So I'm just curious
my
if you
God.
guys have anything like that.
I absolutely do, and that was going to be it. If
Okay.
your voice is higher than mine, so I'm not
Right.
I'm not having that. One of the things though that gets me, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna sound so weird. If we're doing it, and you moan like a girl, like I love moaning. I love the
Yeah,
the and the. But if you be like, if you do that shit.
like Prince.
Yeah. If you do that shit, it is automatically over. My shit will
We're
be like
done.
suck right up. We'd be finished right there.
The grunts and the groans and the
Yes, and
that's
the,
sexy.
Yes, and I can even take a that type of thing or something to that effect. But if you nope. And I'm so sorry. Again, I love a vocal nigga, but. And I'm saying nigga, that's male and female. Point being, I love a good vocal nigga, but for a nigga to be like, nope,
I'm not.
Sucks me
I'm
right
not
up.
here for
As
that.
a matter of fact, right now my vagina is like, nope. She's shut tight with that shit. She's like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Her shit is the Sahara right now.
What about you, Angie?
If I find out that you're dumb as a box of hair,
Well, there's that. I ended a whole marriage over that shit. Okay.
I remember meeting someone, and he was so cute and so fine, and he decided he was going to spend the weekend at my house, and it wasn't my house; it was my mom's house. My mom had just pretty much given up. She's like, whatever.
She's like, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm going to work
Right.
all
She's
week.
like,
I'm not coming home.
as long as she's not murdering anybody, I guess, whatever. Just this bitch. So he was there, and about a day into him being there, I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't even want to spend another day with him.
Because you were like, you got to get the fuck
I
up
was
on up out of here.
irritated. I was like, you're dumb and ghetto. And I just can't.
Can't do it.
You are not fine enough to overcome.
Stupid.
Right.
Man, let me tell you something right now. You were there. The ex-husband? Fine. Good looking fella.
Yep.
You'd be like, yeah, I could do this all day. Great in the sack and all of those other type of things. But it made me so angry. As a matter of fact, we were in an argument in the car once, and he was so mad at me. And he was like, well, if you didn't use big words all the time. And I was like, stop this car. Stop this car right now. One of us has to get out. It could be me. It could be me. Like, I'm taking these keys with me, but it could be me. Because the fact is that you would say something like that.
Exactly.
Nigga, read a book. Read a book. Get a lexicon.
It's
That's
not like
a
he
word.
doesn't know.
Lexicon.
It's not like he doesn't know he's dumb.
Girl.
Actually, dumb people rarely know that they're
That's
dumb.
the truth.
See,
That's true.
that is Dunning-Kruger
They
at
actually
its
think
best.
that they're
Yes,
they're
Dunning-Kruger
quite-
at its best, for sure. Where you got people who think that they're amazing at something, but in actuality, they are terrible at it.
absolutely terrible.
Dumb and death are the two things that they don't really know, but we know, and it's painful.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
Talk about it. I heard somebody
It feels
say,
like she's triggered.
I heard somebody, I really am. I heard somebody say today, if it was raining brains, you would be dry as a bone.
Listen.
Well,
That's going in my repertoire.
I know, write that
As of
shit
right
down.
now.
Repertoire is too large a word.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
going
gonna go in my head to remember later. It's gonna go in my head mind.
in my brain book. Oh shit, Angela, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. I got to get some new clothes for work, and it wasn't anything special. I don't have to really have anything special for work. Just clothes that fit my bigger body, so that I don't feel like uncomfortable or whatever. So that was fun. Okay, so I have this story that. Because I love supernatural and I love true crime, me and Scott had an incident that kind of put both together.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
But then not really. So, okay, so I was asleep. I sleep late because I'm up late. It's just the way
That's
that
all
I'm
there is
built.
to it, right.
Yeah. So my husband's an early bird. So
Very early. He's got to be getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
yes,
And
yes.
like be up.
up.
Just wake up and be like, start my day.
I'm gonna read a couple of books before I get my day started. I'm like, God
I'll be
damn.
done by 6.
So he's up and he's doing, whatever morning routine.
Does
or
he go
whatever.
to bed early?
Yeah, he's usually asleep by 9:30 or 10.
See, okay,
That's why.
that needs
Yeah.
to be me in my
Yeah.
life. Go ahead.
So I sleep until about 10 or so. So this is probably about 8 o'clock in the morning. And he's in the bathroom. He's brushing his teeth or whatever. And then all of a sudden he hears this loud whirring sound, right? And he's like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And so he follows it to his office and...
It's a vibrator.
Which reminds me, I need to get a quieter one. Anyway, he sees that the paper shredder is on and his wall calendar is laying on the floor, right?
Somebody's been in there.
And he's like, what the, and then he goes, he's like, I know it wasn't.
Right, because yes, if it's like my paper shredder, you shred something and it stays shredding for another like 5 to 10 seconds,
Right.
And it's like super loud. Is that what he was hearing?
This one actually, it has a switch that's actually been flipped on.
Oh, so somebody flipped it on.
So he knows it's not my son. So he checks with me. I'm asleep. I ain't heard nothing. I am knocked the fuck out. Right. And so he goes there and he's like, he had about 20 seconds of just like, holy shit, maybe I need to change my whole paradigm. And then he realized what happened. He has a fan in there. The fan blew the calendar down. It had to land just right where it
Turned
turned
on
on the thing, and then it was laying there. And
But for a hot second, he was
just
like, "We poltergeist!"
so when he
Don't go towards the light, Caroline.
So when he told me when I was awake and everything, because I went over there, because he was telling me, and I was like, yeah. I was excited. I was like, oh, we have a ghost.
Yes.
And then he told me what happened, and then I looked at the shredder, and, we don't dust, because fuck that.
We don't do that either.
But you could see where the calendar, you could see the disturbance in the dust, where the calendar hit it. And so that's where my true crime CSI
Right.
is. I was like, oh yeah, you could see right here. And I was like, was this tacked in good? He's like, no, it wasn't. I was like, because you can see right here where the marks are, where they hit it. It would never happen again in 1,000 years, but yep, that's what happened.
And that's why your ADHD is also your superpower.
Right.
Exactly.
To see some shit that nobody else would fucking see.
But I wanted a ghost, but
Well, now you got to have that little lady come in there and go, this house is clean.
oh, and he sent me later that day. Actually, I think it was the day that we went shopping, right? And he sent me a text with a picture of a printer with a little devil face on it and a little skull and crossbones.
Oh, really? That's yes, because printers can be the devil. Let me tell you something.
So did I say printer? I meant shredder.
Shredder.
The
Oh,
shredder.
okay.
The shredder that we have with the little devil face
Oh,
on
my
it.
God.
And so it actually made me laugh out loud. So
That's
I was
funny. Right on.
like, I want a ghost. I don't want to see that bitch
And
at
I'm about
night.
to say, be careful what you wish for, my sis, because let me tell you.
I've already talked to my ancestors,
Did
and I
you?
was like, I want proof, but can y'all not do it at night?
Do it right, because why don't we
Please.
see most of that stuff during the day?
Exactly.
Maybe because we're busy. Maybe too preoccupied.
I have a tendency to think that like there's too much information coming in. Like you said, like we're busy, or there's so much information coming in that you're not paying attention to
Exactly.
your little side. You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Because
Right.
it's like for the most part, it's when you see these things, you kind of see it. Okay. You kind of see it like from the side of your eye. So it's like you kind of have to like kind of turn this way in order. And I don't understand what that is, but it is what it is.
Right.
And so
Well, your peripheral, I think you're less focused at night because you're winding down. So you can catch things in your peripheral or whatever.
but it's not outside of your, it's it's like cat a corner
Right,
to
right.
it. You know, it's never this.
Right.
It's always this, which is interesting, but I don't know.
And then just picture a ghost tiptoeing like, okay, this is where I'm coming over.
So if you're a ghost, email us and let us know
why it is that we can only see you like never head on, but like out of the side of our eye for the most part.
We only see you head on at night. I mean, I don't because I
because
don't
you like
want
I'm
that
not
shit.
looking at that shit.
I'm going to request no demons email us, though.
Yeah.
No,
we
thank
got
you.
plenty of those running around on Earth without.
Yeah, we don't need to.
without them contacting
Yeah,
us.
don't leave us the fucking alone. Anywho, y'all. Ooh, but so that was our week. And so, Angela, what have you got for us today?
I have just a quick headline, and
What the fuck is that? Put these glasses on right quick.
just mediocre white men doing what mediocre white men do, which is a tourist pleads guilty for handling a Yellowstone bison calf, leading to its death.
Oh, my God.
Why would you do? Because I
think he was
him
trying to help.
dragging it up the hill. But why would you grab it like that?
Okay, so he pleaded guilty to handling a bison calf in Yellowstone National Park, and it actually ended up leading to the calf's death. His name is Clifford Walters. He's a Hawaii resident, and he was charged with 1 count of feeding, touching, teasing, frightening, or intentionally disturbing wildlife, according to a statement from the U.S.
God, that's a lot.
I know, right? I didn't even know these were things.
Jesus.
So he paid $1,000 in fines, including a $500 community service payment to Yellowstone's Wildlife Protection Fund. But what happened was this. A newborn bison had been separated from his mother, and, as the herd was crossing the river, right?
Okay.
So he observed the scene, and so he called himself trying to help by pushing it up the bank, onto the roadway. But that the calf actually had to be euthanized,
Well, because what?
because
its
humans
smell
interfering
was
exactly.
Okay, so
and his mom and the calf's mom would probably reject it.
So remember how they used to tell us, don't touch the little baby bird that falls on the ground because then you'll have your smell
Scent.
on it,
Yep.
and then the mama will reject it. And and to a degree, we came to find out that that's not necessarily true.
No, it's not.
Right.
Right. So
And actually, that wasn't the case in this one.
okay.
That
So what happened in this one?
He was the calf because he had this interaction with human. He was causing a hazardous situation by approaching cars and people along the roadway, and so
because he trusted humans,
right, or because he had this interaction with humans. So they had to euthanize him because he's causing a hazardous teeth. He's causing a hazardous. God damn it!
No, we can hear the word hazardous with the whole Z and everything.
Right.
You're cool.
He was creating that situation. Not only for the drivers on the roadway, but also for himself. And that's just not, so he had to be euthanized because of it.
Well, there has to be more because it's like, I don't know.
I'm
why
sure
are you
there
going to
is.
euthanize a whole animal for being friendly? Or maybe there's something we don't know.
I've not been to park ranger school, so I'm not really sure how what they learned there. But anyway, that was a story.
And so
and
because
the thing is,
they had to euthanize him, they're like, sir, because we had to euthanize this bison because you out here fucking around with nature and trying to be what you thought was helpful, but in actuality But would the baby have died without the help of this guy?
actually, if I had scrolled down more, I would see that it says that
have to euthanize the calf. Okay, what is that?
right. They made the choice not because we are lazy, uncaring, or inexpert in our understanding of bison biology, but because national parks preserves natural processes. Because so when you go through the national parks, it's not like a safari park where they're supposed to come up or whatever.
No,
that's not. They're preserving nature as it is. So that's how they're defending
so Yellowstone's clear on its policy of not rescuing and rehabilitating animals.
Exactly.
It lists only a handful of situations in which it might intervene, including if Congress directs it to, or if the long-term health of an ecosystem is at risk. So the fate of a sole bison calf, one of roughly 5,900 bison in park. Sorry, I'm all far away from the thing because I'm reading it. Falls outside of the list. So basically, they're like, for the greater good, that one needed to have been left alone. Okay.
Right.
I mean, okay, mediocre white man. I really don't think he should have been.
It's a cycle of life that they're trying to.
Right.
Yeah,
preserve.
I get it.
And my thing with with telling the story was just, mediocre white men being mediocre white
Go
men.
down some more because it said something like, why didn't the park bring the calf to an animal sanctuary?
Unless those bisons are going to meat processing or scientific. Oh, okay. It's illegal to transport bison out of Yellowstone unless they're going to meat processing.
Unless you're going to eat the motherfucker.
Wow.
Or do scientific reach on it.
Look,
That's
Right
disappointing.
See,
That is
exactly.
disappointing.
It is. I'm like, don't. Laws, change them. With civil disobedience. Therein the reason I'm such an advocate for civil disobedience, because
Right.
some of these laws don't make no fucking sense.
Get that good trouble out there.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could have taken that calf to an animal sanctuary, and you didn't have to introduce him back to that herd. You could have introduced him to another herd or something like that. But because you niggas want to be out here, I don't know what they want to be out here doing, honestly, because they said they didn't want to. But it's like, why didn't you? Why didn't you?
They have a whole thing. They're talking about, I cannot, brucellosis or whatever. They don't want it to.
Brucellosis cases spiked in the U.S. in the mid 1900s. Girl, I was reading that.
Oh, sorry.
Go back up. There. Causing the U.S. Animal Plant and Inspection Service to implement nationwide livestock testing and vaccination requirements. So what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? You think that white man gave him brucellosis?
I think
brucellosis.
I think that it's. I think they're saying an overall why they don't want the bison to interact with humans, because they don't want them also to start migrating toward actual cows and like our for meat consumption and spread this disease,
this brucellosis.
Right. And then one of the other quotes is, a newborn calf that is abandoned and unable to care for itself is not a good candidate for quarantine. I don't know why it's not a good candidate for quarantine, but so.
So the lesson learned, dear
give
folks,
animals room to roam.
Yes, give animals room to roam and stay ass away from them and stop touching them.
Right.
We keep telling you that. Stay away from
Stop
them.
trying
Stay
to
away
save
from them
everybody.
damn volcanoes out there. The
You know what?
geysers and shit. Stay the fuck back from those. Stay the fuck away from over the side of the volcano. I know you want to see inside, but that bitch is hot and your shoes will melt. Like, stop fucking around with these natural shits.
Well, as far as animals go, we can't. We're hypocrites because we tried to get.
Okay, so it was a dog.
It was a dog, that's true.
Domesticated.
If it was a pig, we still would have done
We
it.
still would have, because they can be domesticated.
If it was a raccoon, I would have. Like, there's different things where
Right.
I'm like, if it was, I would try to rescue it, or I would
Not
try
a
to get a rehab.
raccoon, because a raccoon.
They could be rabid, but you know.
Yeah,
Tony, you want to tell the story of what we're talking about when we were at the cabin?
I feel like that we talked about it
did.
on prior
Did we?
episodes. So
Okay.
take your nigger asses back to our early episodes when we were at the cabin and we literally spent 4 drunken days.
And we almost came home with a dog.
4 drunken days of us being out in the drunken and pickled days. We were pickling everything. Our livers, our food. It was wonderful. We spent 4 drunken days out there snatching up animals and shit. But we
Are trying. We bought food to snatch
We
up
did.
animals. We were like, when we went to the grocery store, we like, we need animal snatching food.
because if I see that dog on the way back, that's our dog. We have a new dog. That's what the fuck is about to happen. Oh shit. Thank you for that story and for that education. Andy, what have you got for us?
Well, first, I want to do Pop That Light.
Pop that light.
Pop That Light.
And here is your theme song.
I And the reason why I want to do it light is because I don't want to delve too deep into these topics because both of them I'm just like, but because it just happened this week, I'm going to mention it.
Thank you. Appreciate.
So the first one is about Sierra and Chris Brown releasing a song together for her new EP.
Interesting.
And so, of course, there's a lot of backlash on
I feel
that.
like I heard something about it, but I'm not sure exactly what I heard.
Yeah, so it's causing some backlash this week. A lot of people are kind of upset with her, like, why are you working with him?
As somebody who's an abuser or maybe former abuser.
Because I was wondering, why am I surprised at that collaboration? It's not a collaboration that I ever really would have thought of.
You're surprised at it because he is a bad boy. Right? Mm-hmm. And he is famous for being hurtful to women and all of this. And then you've got Sierra, on the other hand, who has been a hurt woman, but who was swept off her feet by a good man and is now, like, leveling up, so to speak. Level up. And is, now living this 2.5 life,
right?
You know what I'm saying,
right.
So not a reformed bad girl. She was never a bad girl. She was just a good girl, and has always been a good girl. And so it is interesting that she would hook up with a perpetual bad boy,
right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Which leads me to
hook up in song, that is.
Exactly. Yes. Let's make that clear. So that brings me to my next thing, because right now Lizzo is under fire.
I heard about too.
For like hostile work environments, sexual assault.
Jesus.
Yes, sexual harassment. Because for things like, and the reason why I said it leads into it is because back in the day when she first met him, they recorded her saying, "You're my favorite person," to Chris Brown. And so that's coming up now to point out other reasons why Lizzo should be canceled. So Lord. The allegations for that include requests that were of sexual nature, pressure from Lizzo to attend a performance with nude dancers in Amsterdam, to eat bananas placed in nude dancers' genitals, and pressure one of the plaintiffs to touch a dancer's breasts. Those are some of the allegations.
Yes. So basically, I kind of saw this on TikTok. Are you going to go into more detail?
No.
So I saw this on TikTok. There were two of the dancers that are out there doing this lawsuit, and it was very interesting because what people have also pointed out was the fact that Lizzo talked about the lawsuit in one of her songs, and she was like, I had some people who signed an NDA and they can't keep their mouth shut, and I had to separate myself from them. So people are like, oh my God, Lizzo talked about this. It could have been something else, but nonetheless, they want to associate it with this. And apparently they went to Amsterdam and they went to like a strip club of sorts, and yes, there was lewd and lascivious acts that were happening. And
you mean at a strip club? Oh my God.
It might have been like a burlesque, but still.
Or something like that. Yeah. But there was this show where somebody had a banana in their cooch, and apparently Lizzo said, touch it, or eat it. I dare somebody to eat it. I'll give you money if you eat it. Do it. And they were in essence kind of forcing this girl to do it, and she was saying, I felt uncomfortable and I didn't want to. And then even with the breast touching of this performer, the girl was saying, I was uncomfortable and I felt like if I said no, that I was gonna that I would get in trouble. And she used to make us do she would be mad at us, and she would do like impromptu auditions in order for us to keep our jobs. And so if I didn't do it, then I felt like I was pressured to do it. I personally can't ever fall for that.
Right.
Now, don't get it twisted. I'm saying I can't ever. Yes, there are certain circumstances in which I'll be like, everybody's here and I need to do this and blah, 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 blah. So there's that. But when it comes to something like that, where they're like, eat a banana out of a woman's pussy, don't get it twisted. I might do that anyway. But
okay, listen. Okay, thank you. Because I was like, am I the only one that would have did it? I'll do it.
I might actually, but not a stranger's pussy.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Not a stripper's pussy. I'm not. No. And not to say that
you
strippers
peeled the skin off.
And then not to say. Well, see, there's that. Okay,
depends on how hungry I am.
If the skin was on that banana, and it's just the fruit sticking out, and the skin and the fruit is in the holder, then maybe I might have a bite of that banana.
Right.
However, that's not my vagina. and we have not had consensual testing.
Just Clorox wipe it and then peel it. It'll be fine.
No. I mean, again, I'll eat the fruit
Inside. Right.
But the skin has to still be on, is all I'm saying. But anywho.
And allegedly she body shamed or fat shamed one of her dancers because they gained weight.
Interesting.
Was it because they gained weight or lost weight?
They gained weight.
Okay, because there was somebody else that was saying, because somebody else said that they had lost weight and they felt conscious about having lost weight and was like, this is just something I saw on TikTok. And so it may not even have any relevance to this particular thing. But they were saying that they felt self-conscious because they had lost weight and that it was said that this is the only job where you can gain weight or be heavy. Like, you can't get into another job as a dancer being this heavy or something like that.
Right.
So the fact that if somebody gained weight, that's wild.
But and that's why it was such a big thing, because she's so body positive in public.
That's why I'm like, interesting.
In public, but then, behind the scenes, do they have a standard? Like, okay, you can be a big girl, but we need you to stay below
Lizzo,
right?
Because Lizzo is the biggest girl on that tour.
Or is it based on ratio of their body proportions? Who knows?
Right.
I mean, who knows? But it's still, because she's a body positive person, it's kind of shocking.
Which is very interesting. And
which makes me just think that humans are humans.
Exactly. I don't really have an opinion, because
put your whole trust and faith in being into another human being, because we are
fallible as fuck.
Yeah, we're fallible, flawed. It's going to happen. Humans are going to disappoint you.
Yep. Every single time. Don't meet your heroes, for sure. And there's people that I will still listen to her music. There's nothing that's been declared, this is all still ongoing. And so, and a lot of times when you're really successful, there's people that want to tear you down, and they bring this shit out to light. So we'll see what happens.
That is actually a very real thing. Having had a stint in the industry, so to speak, there's a lot of shit where people are trying to, and it never made sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me, where people will get their little 15 minutes of fame off of fucking you over in some way, shape, or form. And it's like, you can't Amber Rose that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lightning strike that you will become rich or comfortable off of fucking with some of these other people. Maybe you get $1 million, but because you don't know how to spend it or parlay that shit, you'll fuck it, and you'll be just in the same place that you were in a year from now,
if not worse.
Well, because you're a terrible human being, because you're getting your $1 million off of someone else's suffering.
Yes.
And really, I hope karma comes and
does what it's supposed to do. So either on Lizzo's side or on the side of the people that are suing her. Speaking of suing, Cardi B.
We suing her?
She's being sued.
Oh, okay.
For throwing a mic at a nigga.
Now, I've heard.
Did you not see?
Sometimes you need to throw them.
So she was performing. It was Vegas, I believe.
Yes.
And
she did that. She was in 2 different shows.
And before this happened, she would said, "Y'all pour some water on me. It's hot up in this bitch.
Here. Yes.
Throw some water on me." So people were throwing water, and then she was going to start singing her song.
But she said, "Not on my face, though."
Not on my face.
Not on my face, though. But she was turning her ass, and people were throwing water at her butt, and they were like flicking her with water. Yes,
absolutely. So at one point, or just when she's about to start singing, someone throws water, and it's the whole bottle, I think, that ends up.
No,
it was just water in her face.
The girl had a cup, and she threw the water
in her face.
Threw the water, and it wasn't like a whole shit ton of water. It was like a half of, I don't know, less than, it was probably like maybe
those white
cups.
But
when that face is beat and you
right, but she just threw the water because she had requested that.
That's true.
And the girl, so there's mixed things, and I haven't verified anything, but the girl, like, is instantly, at least from what I've seen, was like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that."
Yes.
And but Cardi B's first instinct was immediately, she just whipped that micro, and I think she actually hit the wrong person.
She did. So basically, the girl flipped the water. Cardi turns, and because she she'd asked for that earlier.
Absolutely.
But apparently when when the girl flicked the water, she probably flicked it a little too hard and it hit her in the face.
Right.
And Cardi had a look of, oh, how dare you?
And I'm sure the girl was like, I'm sorry.
And
you can hear her saying that.
Yeah, and she immediately tossed and not even a toss, like a, here you go. But she like pelted that microphone and it hit the wrong people. But the girl that actually threw the water was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. And so initially when we saw it, we didn't know the part about wanting to have the water thrown on her. So my initial thought was, why would you do that? Like, why would you throw water on a performer as they're performing?
Right.
Oh, come to find out, she asked for it. But when you tossed it, you had no idea how hard it was going to go.
Right.
Like, you toss the water and you're trying to do what she's asking you to do.
Most of us are not athletes and know exactly how
you don't
to throw
know that the
things.
water is going to go in her face.
Right.
You just like, she asked for water. She's probably hot and let me toss it to her. Oh shit, it got in your face. I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
My bad.
Right.
But Cardi, I really thought, but Cardi.
But I see what you did there. You got any rum?
But it's like, you would think that after all of this bullshit that she would get it together when it comes to this type of stuff.
I wouldn't think
you
that.
call yourself being real, but bitch, you about to reel yourself right out of a career fucking around. And because after a while, your representation is not going to want to like deal with you anymore. Because they're going to be like, look, you keep doing this shit. And then she had another show, literally, I think it was damn near the next day, where she was performing and the DJ cut the music while she was singing because apparently she had gone over on time or some shit like that. I'm not really sure. Can't speculate as to why he would cut the music off while she's singing. But you know, she ain't got the voice for singing, but she kept on singing anyway. And then she turned right the fuck around and threw that goddamn microphone at the DJ.
They have a really high microphone budget, don't they?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you don't just be, number one, you never, whenever they always say dropping the mic and all this, that, don't do that. Them shits are expensive.
Right. We've gotten mics for this podcast.
And these are the cheapo depots, okay?
I wish I would throw one of these. I would leap right over there after. It's like, no, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to buy another one.
Because the mics that they have are like exponentially more expensive than these. And I'm not throwing these.
Right.
Okay.
So, but I don't know what's going on with artists right now because a lot of them are just kind of showing their ass. Like, I don't care about my fans kind of thing.
Okay. Lil Wayne.
I was going to say Doja Cat.
Okay, what happened with Doja Cat? What did she do?
Told her fans she doesn't love them.
What?
Yeah.
What was the circumstance?
She did this on social media. She's like, I don't though, because I don't know y'all.
Yeah, no, okay, I get where she's coming from.
Yeah, but you don't say that shit if you want people to actually. They're the ones providing your living. For
yes.
You need to acquiesce to them a little bit.
Well, to a degree, I understand that. Like, niggas, I don't know you, but I appreciate your support.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to say.
Right.
Okay.
Or I love, I love doing my job. I love the way you support me.
Yes, I love the feelings that you give me when you are responding positive to me.
Right.
But okay, I get that. I don't love you, Nick. I don't know you. Like, I get that, but I love your support.
Right. But
because you making me rich, bitch.
But why? I mean, it just seems like you don't need to make that distinction when you're talking to your fans. So it's just kind of a fucked up thing. So again, what did Lil Wayne do?
So Lil Wayne bought out.
Actually, before you do that,
go ahead.
Full disclosure, on our website it says that we love you.
Okay, with niggers, we don't love you. Okay, with a hard R. No, anyway. But
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Lil Wayne had an artist that he bought out. I think some people booed the artist at the show. Lil Wayne was like, and this was like somebody that was opening for Lil Wayne.
Right.
Lil Wayne came out and was like, what y'all aren't about to do is this.
Right.
And so therefore, have a good night. Put that mic, gingerly put the mic upon the floor.
Right.
And step the fuck off and told that nigga, come on, let's go.
Right.
Let's go. Turned around. It's like, come on, we're leaving, and left. I said, okay, I get that. And you're right. Don't be, how are you going to boo somebody?
Right.
How are you going to sit up there and boo somebody? And okay, they might not be what you want for them to be.
Right.
But
so
just
then
wait
you
it out.
shut the fuck up.
Right.
So what we
because
do,
the person that you want is coming later. You
Exactly.
just
Yes.
sit the fuck down and play Candy Crush until your nigga comes.
because when we go to a lot of these 90s shows that we go to, a lot of times the opening acts are not
People
super
that we
popular.
don't give a fuck about.
And so
Kenny Lattimore.
He has one song I like, but and I just distinctly remember someone coming up on stage, and a lot of it was just awkward silence and people just sitting in their seats, just kind of staring up. Yes. But no one was like, "Boo!"
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
You have to go out of your way to be a dick.
And
Yes.
you're a
to do
trash individual when you do that shit.
Right.
Okay. Don't fuck with these people. Just if you don't love, but people are out of control nowadays any fucking way. And I
Yes.
don't know if sitting in the house for a year and a half is what got y'all fucked up. But what you need to, what you're going to learn to do is be respectful.
Right.
Because y'all are wilding right now, and it's going to cost you more than a living. Is all I'm saying.
I think it's being anonymous on the internet.
Yes.
So they're used to being able to say whatever, on the internet, and there not being any consequences from the artist or whatever.
Or
so they think they get, because they're in a crowd of,
Right.
thousands of people, that they can still do that,
But
and there'll
people
be no
hear and
consequences.
see-
It's
and
like,
I guess, but that episode of Black Mirror where people would say these horrible, terrible things on the internet, and then they would suffer a consequence for the things. I need that. I really need that to
Absolutely.
happen. Don't
Absolutely.
get it twisted. Every now and again, I get outside of my dick, and I will say some shit that will be like. But mind you, it's never a, well, you're fat and ugly. It's never
Right.
anything like that.
Right.
Right.
It's just
It'll
like-
be something to the
Yeah.
effect of, like, there was a video that I was watching of these kids robbing Gucci. And I was like, fuck Gucci. Gucci can suck a dick, because Gucci out here overcharging for shit
Right.
that you should be getting over at Ross. And even still, there was another video of this woman robbing Ross.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck Ross. They not gonna miss that shit, and half of it is like irregular any fucking way. So fuck Ross, fuck these corporations, fuck these huge ass thing.
I mean, that's it.
entities,
Fuck these
because
corporations. I don't give a fuck.
because that CEO is out here making 1,000 times what his janitor's working. Suck my dick. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying.
I feel like you have strong feelings.
I know.
about this. I don't know if it was the slamming the fist on the table or.
Her staring with her big eyes staring me down.
Right.
Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
She's
And
like
you're like,
uncomfortable.
I'm not a corporation. No, it's not me, though.
Come at me. I want to say though that if you're an artist and you put yourself out there for some ridiculousness, now don't be surprised when you get
that shit.
when you get that shit back at you, because like when Angie and I went to go to Louisiana to go to this concert, and High Five was up there, and one of the old men went out there and took his shirt off, thinking he was sexy, like it was 30 years
Because
ago.
he wasn't fat, but
He wasn't fat.
goddamn.
He had a little
But
bird
was
chest.
bird chested.
Yes.
He was out here being
And
Flavor
so
Flav.
people were like laughing in his
Oh,
face
no.
and loud
Oh, no.
and snickering. It
Oh,
was,
no.
I mean,
And
the
I
whole
could
crowd.
understand, because I had to keep from doing that shit too.
Right.
Because I have some
You were
decorum
like,
about me,
"Nigga,
but
put
I'm.
that shirt back on."
We
Stop
really
fucking
were.
with
We
us.
were like,
We
we
to each other, we were like, "Oh
please
God,
put your
no!"
shirt back on. We could not wait for this to be over.
It was uncomfortable.
It was.
It was really uncomfortable.
Like,
so
oh my.
if you do something and you put yourself out there, then don't be surprised at the reactions that you might get,
Exactly.
because they may not be favorable. is all I'm saying.
Right.
So just take it in stride, readjust,
Don't
and do something else.
Don't throw your mic at me.
Right.
Yeah,
Because you got a bird chest and you out here slow
out
rolling.
here being big man. Serious. Okay, these celebrities are being wild, and all of this plastic surgery and these. Honestly, to a degree I like Cardi B's music, but that ass is out of control. That ass is out of control. Her and Nicki's ass, both.
Yeah.
I feel like Nicki has probably pulled back on that a little bit because she's got a
I do
little baby
too.
now, and she don't want no silicone in her bloodstream. But nonetheless, Y'all, it's not cute. It's not
Cardi
cute.
has a baby too. But
Two babies.
Two babies.
Two
Oh,
babies.
okay. So
And that little boy she's got, he's a cutie. He's something I just want to bite his little face. But I need y'all to really be better about this plastic surgery, because it's not, y'all out here looking weird.
Especially when you're spending money on it, but you're not spending the right kind of money on it. Because if you're not paying for a quality procedure, you're not going to get quality work.
Exactly.
And it's going to show.
When you literally look like you got 2 balloons in your pants and your legs are as skinny as fucking toothpicks. That's wild to me, my boy. Stop that. Andy, do you have any more?
I have something kind of fun just to wrap things up. This is a card game called Urban Trivia, and they are a Black-owned small business, and they are operated in Dallas, Texas.
Woo! And you know what? I have seen them on TikTok, and I'm so glad that you ordered that, because I've played along on TikTok,
right?
And I love this box. It's a black and yellow box. Come on, black and yellow.
It's got Do the Right Thing vibe.
Yes, it's got living single print with this is very 90s kind of urban trivia, and this is the second
like a
edition.
90s African.
Yes, in the 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got urban trivia.
So it's 4 friends, and they turned their live event, which is what they do. They tour and do the urban trivia, and and during 2020 in the rough time stay home, they turned it into a game. And so it's really fun. So hopefully when they do another Dallas show, we can go and attend.
Yeah, sure. I would love that.
Yeah.
So I pulled some cards, and we'll take a crack at them and see what we've got. This one is...
I love this because it makes me prove my blackness. Because people don't think I'm black enough sometimes, except for the fact that I say nigga.
Which both of y'all have been through that.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Because we like rock and roll.
How dare we?
Because we like fucking Foo Fighters. Don't fuck with me.
See, I won't even speak for myself because my presentation shows everything.
So, right, people will mistake you all day
for I'm
until
Hispanic, apparently.
Until they talk to you and they'll be like, "Oh, this is a whole nigga."
So y'all got to prove your blackness with these cards. Who is Boo Boo the Fool? A TV show character. B, a famous clown. C, a comedian. Or D, I don't know, but it ain't me.
D.
Correct.
Play me like I'm Boo Boo the Fool.
Because girl, I was about to say it before. I said, "Oh, it's multiple choice." Okay, and I'm gonna wait for the answers because I already have the answer to this.
Not your mama. Well, I'm not Boo Boo the Fool. Don't come at me.
Okay, next one is when Deborah Cox asks, "How did you get here?" Which of the following is the appropriate response? A, nobody supposed to be here. B, trick, I caught an Uber. C, trick, I caught the bus. D, this was before my time.
Ain't nobody supposed to be here.
Nobody's
supposed to be here.
See, I agree, but they have C, trick, I caught the bus.
They are liars. And their black card is about to be revoked.
Right?
How dare you?
But I agree with that because that's just how the song goes.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Facts or cap? In a black household of your mama go on a diet. Oh, if your mama go on a diet, the whole house is on a diet. A, facts. B, cap.
A, facts.
Facts. Unless you got a job and you sneaking food in your room.
Thank you. Wasn't saying, and even still, you're going to have to hide them Popeyes boxes under the thing.
Because it says right down here, because she ain't making 2 meals.
That's right.
That's right.
Bitch, you eat what I eat or you be hungry.
My skinny ass mom has only been on a diet once, and that was right after she had my little sister, and she was like 20 pounds.
All right, and you just
overweight.
want to choke her out because she has always just been this tall,
petite,
slim. Yes,
Yeah,
you're just like, hush up, lady.
It's like, oh, you only have 20 pounds to lose. Oh, okay. But I knew there wasn't no junk food in the house.
Right.
God,
well,
we say that, but we all, the 3 of us are like, we have about 20 pounds to lose. Oh my God, it's the struggle. The struggle is real.
It doesn't sound like much, but Jesus.
Thank you. Wasn't say
At night when you want them chips, it seems like
And when I'm over here studying and working, and that's what I do when I'm studying and working. The snack should be in my mouth as I'm I can't concentrate unless my mouth is moving.
Right. And see, and I'm practicing what my mom taught me, which is basically sabotaging y'all by bringing y'all chamoy ice cream sorbet or chamoy gummies.
And we gladly accept that shit.
Thank you, and be eating them shits.
We're like, thank you.
You hit the spot.
You knew what we needed.
Because she did that shit to me. You need to lose weight, and then she'd bring me like McDonald's and shit like that. So I inadvertently am becoming my mother. So
Now you just know what we like.
Okay, who was the first hip hop act to ever win a Grammy?
Wait. Let me think for a second. The first hip hop act to ever win a Grammy.
Yes.
Okay, I know where it is. Go ahead.
A. Run DMC. B. LL Cool J. C. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. D. Eric B. and Rakim.
Oh shit! I think it's not who I thought it was.
I wanted to say Run DMC, but I bet it's probably Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that as well.
You are correct.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Because I remember them thinking that it was unprecedented that a hip hop act, that a rap artist, and then more so than that, everybody was like, of course he would win it because he's white acceptable.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. He's
He
not.
raps happy.
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't cuss.
Yeah, and it was to say he raps about summertime
And parents.
Yes, exactly. That's right. Because
I
it
bet
was
that
before
was the one-
summertime, so it has to be parents just don't understand.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, because they definitely weren't gonna. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the. They weren't giving no niggas no Grammys at the time.
Eric B. and Rakim. Because I think they would have deserved it. God damn, I love that.
Even Run DMC, honestly.
Because
They had so
played
many.
that shit
But see,
on
Run
repeat all the
DMC,
time.
their thing was that they ushered it into the mainstream when they did
True.
when they did
Rock
Walk
This
This Way
Way.
with Aerosmith.
Yes.
I was about to say Aerostar.
No, not the 4-year-old.
Not the van.
But when that's when they ushered it into the mainstream, so
Right.
to speak. Even though hip hop was like up and coming and all of this, that, and the other, but
Right.
in the 80s, Walk This Way, that's what shot him, and that's what shot H hop. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. Hip hop.
I know, that's what I was thinking. H, that's not.
I don't even know.
That
I don't even
doesn't
know.
correlate at all.
You know, I can't think, girl.
Welcome to the club.
Which of the following are excuses black people use when they lose a fight?
I wouldn't know.
A. They fell. B. They were being held back. C. They got jumped. Or D. All of the above.
All of the above.
Yep.
I feel like I've heard those excuses from people before.
absolutely.
All of them. If this nigga wasn't holding me back, I'll beat your ass. Nigga, I was busting him and then I tripped and fell.
It was 8 of them. They jumped me.
Yeah, the amount. Okay.
What if they were 10-year-olds like we talked about before? According to BBD, a woman with a big butt and a smile is considered what? A. Toxic. B. A headache. C. Poison. D. None of the above.
That would be
That
C.
girl is poison.
They sing it to us personally.
Did.
They did. Was gonna say now Britney Spears on the other. Damn, she toxic.
She is toxic. But that's all right.
That's one of the few one of the 2 Britney Spears songs that I like.
Man, I should have picked her for my white girl songs because there were some of hers that I liked.
I should have picked Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh, my God.
Making my way. That one.
No,
No.
that's Michelle Branch or
Call Me
Vanessa Carlton.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No.
I just met you.
We not doing that.
Crazy. Here's my number.
Oh Lord, she got to give us the whole concert.
We got time for another one?
Yeah.
When black people are watching Family Feud, which family do they typically go for? A, the family with their last name. B, the family from their city. C, the family winning the car. D, the black family.
The black family.
Black family. Fuck that.
I don't give a fuck
I
where
don't give
they're
a fuck.
from.
Yeah, I don't care about where they're at. I don't care what their names are. None of that shit. Niggas win.
I don't care how stupid their answers are. I'm the one that's like, why ain't that on the board? That makes sense.
Thank you. Wasn't saying you surveyed in the wrong hood, nigga.
Right.
That's what the problem was.
What 100 people are y'all surveying?
Exactly.
That don't make no sense. According to the internet, what is Jesus Christ's middle name? A. Deontay. B. Devontae. C. Delonte. D. Diamante.
Devontae.
Yeah.
You know what? I have not heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it was either for white people it's Jesus H. Christ,
right?
I wasn't saying, but for black folks it's Jesus Devontae Christ.
Nice. That's going to be
my God.
our next pet. Jesus
Devontae Christ.
I love it.
Yep.
I love that. I want to see that actually happen. What is the worst thing about borrowing money from black people?
Because
all of
so
it.
many.
All of
Oh my God.
A, they want it right back. B, they hold it over your head. C, they give a pre-loan speech. D, all of the above.
All of the above. And don't let you buy something for yourself when you owe them money.
You owe them money. Oh my God! And then when tax
you out
time-
here buying ham, but you owe me $20.
Thank you. What's it say? And don't let tax time come around, because
Listen.
that's when they start coming around collecting.
With a handout.
Thank you. Be like, hey, nigga, don't you owe me $15? It's tax time.
I see you got all this toilet paper. Where my $15?
All right.
The best thing my dad ever told me was, if you loan people money, family or friends, anybody, just
It's
say
a
goodbye
gift.
to that money.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
a gift. Just
that is always how I do it for the most part. I give the money and then just keep the party popping. 'cause
Yeah.
My
it's
mom
like-
taught me that.
Yeah.
But when I don't want to give it, I don't give it.
Exactly.
That's
My mom
all
taught
there
me
is
that
to
as
it.
well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
If I don't want, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to sit up there and create a riff, because if I
Exactly.
need that money, it's like a certain child of mine who is having an issue right now. I'm like, sir, here's the dealio. I'm about to do this thing for you, but the moment that I go buy this house, all of that stops.
Right. You
And
cut
there's
off.
Yeah. And there's only one way that you're going to be able to get help from me. And so I already told you how it goes. Nigga, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me and this money.
And I love it when they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pay you back," and I'm like, "Okay."
Please stop saying that.
Don't
say
do
that.
that.
Hey, folks out here, PSA. If you're gonna, if you seriously, so seriously, when I say this, don't tell us you're gonna pay us back.
Right. You can say, "I would like to pay you back."
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
do the
know
best
that
I can to pay you back.
but I would like to.
But go ahead and set the expectation that you're not. If we're giving it to you, it's because we care about you.
Right.
Okay. But don't say I'll pay it back tomorrow, because the fact is that when you don't, I immediately in my head, you're a liar.
Yes.
And I can't trust you. So be real about the fact that, hey, I'm having dire straits and I need to borrow $20. I'm borrowing it, but I don't know when I'll be able to get it back to you.
Right.
This way you're setting the expectation that I may never get it back.
Exactly.
But the fact is that when I give it freely. So, but don't tell me that you're going to pay me back, because I don't like it when you don't.
I'd rather
It's not
that
I don't-
surprise. I'd rather that surprise of you giving me the money back.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And that way I never depend on it. Now
Oh yeah.
but now I also understand that I am in a place of privilege to not have to depend on it.
Absolutely.
So
Like not having to look at a pair of shoes
if
and
I
finding how
have
much
to
they cost.
depend on someone paying me back,
why are you looking at me like that?
I look at you and I look back at your closet. And I'm like, shoes. Just don't care.
Wait, so let me tell you something right now about the shoes that I'm wearing this minute. So these are
the ones
from
we just got.
Yes, I was about to say these are from our most recent acquisitions.
Oh,
When
she
we-
bought like 7 pairs of shoes when we went shopping.
Yeah, whatever
went to
she's
a
getting ready to
consignment
say,
store.
that is like, oh, well, I went to a consignment, I got these, but she also got 7 other pairs.
You see how those just tossed me? Just tossed me. They were like, boom, strike. But yes, okay. So these shoes right here. So we got these at our most recent shopping expedition, and it was running around searching for these shoes, and Andy kept bringing me shoes. That's why, Andy, because you kept bringing me shoes. You were like, oh, bitch, these are cute. And I'm like, oh my God, you are so seeing me.
Okay, but she did find some cute
She
shoes.
had some very cute shoes, and they were usually
I'm taking a
go
picture
ahead
of your
and get
shoes.
Now, please understand, I'm wearing these shoes. They are a whole size ass 11.
Bam! I did not realize that.
She wears a 9.
How many pairs of socks do you have on right now?
One. But let me tell you.
Let me I had no idea to this moment.
But look, y'all, they're super cute. They were Adidas.
I'm sitting next to her, so I'm using my foot to see all the room in the toe of her shoe.
And Angie's got tiny feet.
Right. And she got like size 4 baby feet. She says she wears a size 7, but that's a goddamn lie. She easily wears a 4.5, 5. Easily. Look at that's when her toes aren't done. It's when her toes are done that she wears a size 7. But that's why I'm talking about these shoes. They're a whole size 11. However, the way my feet are set up is that
what happened
is
was
that I have a wide foot.
Right.
And so therefore I wear a size 9, but if I put my foot in a size 9, that shit normally hurts like my pinky toe.
Yep.
And so I hate that. So normally I'll go maybe a size up and might wear a 10 because it's wider. And so I'll put those shoes on. And they'll normally be comfortable, but that's like in a hard sole shoe. These are soft. Have a soft mesh type covering, and you'll see them because Angie just took a picture of them. But although these are a size 11, because the tops are soft, they conform to my foot.
Right.
So they're conforming to not only they're not the width or not the length so much, but the width for sure.
Right. And
I was
that's
going to say
comfortable.
definitely not the length.
Yeah, because there's a whole like inch or so at the top of this shoe, but the rest is so comfortable on my foot. And the fact that it is way past time for us to get these manicures, and I have got like a whole like 1/4 inch of toenail that needs to leave.
Right.
Okay, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of toenail that needs to leave.
Right.
These shoes are perfect because ain't nothing touching that fucking toenail.
And that's why I wore clogs today instead of sandals, because I was like,
because I've been needing my toes out, and
I'm wearing my little Converse shoes to cover my toes.
I don't wear anything. Thank you, because I don't wear anything with toes out except flip flops.
Yeah.
And I don't wear sandals. I don't wear open toe shoes except flip flops and those sandals right there next to the door. So, and I can't wear those because they're chock full of sand right now. So the point being is that these are the most comfortable shoes. When I put them on yesterday, I was like, what has the Lord done?
My feet
Look what the Lord has wrought. This is amazing. So they're comfortable on the rest of my feet. My pinky toe is not squished up. I have like a whole inch in front. Now, don't get it twisted. I look like Sideshow Bob because my feet are just so long. Because it looks so long. People are like, bitch, your feet aren't that big. And I'm like, that's true. They're not. But it looks like I'm wearing ski shoes, but it doesn't feel like I'm wearing
I'm gonna
skis.
I'm gonna get a little horn so I can honk every time you take a step. Honk, honk, honk.
Exactly.
Actually, it doesn't look that bad. They do look a little big, but they look really good.
Plus, you're taller, so it works itself out.
I am taller than these.
I was gonna say here's this.
I said taller. I didn't say tall.
She was like, "Why do it?" Taller than these guys. It's what I said. Okay, because I tower above these hoes.
I just want to add, since you wanted to bring up your shoe story, the fact that Toni was like trying on just one shoe because of the 1 foot situation, like a lot of us have.
Yeah,
a lot of
my
us have
left
that.
foot is fatter than my right foot.
But she was determined to take these pair of Converse, and I was like, you need to try them on, because even though they're Converse and you have Converse that you wear, that does not mean these are going to be fit or they're going to be comfortable.
Right, and Converse run narrow all the fucking time. They get on my
run
nerves
big on
with that
me.
shit.
They run big on me.
Of course they could. Of course they would.
Run big on me too.
Of course they would, because I'm a goddamn Bigfoot.
So I'm one of those people, like, I don't wear heels for the most part. I wear platforms if I wear anything, because I like comfort over, fashion
all the time.
So that's why I was encouraging you. Try those things on.
Because I picked out 10 pair and end up having to put back 3. I was like, damn, thank you, Andy, because I would have taken these shits home and been upset. But they'd have been in the closet looking cute, though.
Okay.
Looking cute.
Listen,
I wore my little hamburglers yesterday. That's what I'm gonna start calling them. The ones with the black and white checkers with the hamburgers on the side. I wore those yesterday. I was like, I am so dope. I am so dope. My friends help make me dope. I love that. Oh shit, this was a good show, y'all. I'm so grateful for it, because man, when I tell you I needed this pick me up, I really needed it. So thank you for the love, and thanks for being able to, folks, for listening to us and allowing us to share that with you today. Angeli, tell them where they can find us.
You can find us, actually you can find us on multiplegabwounds.com.
God
damn it, I'm doing it. Yeah, I've got a little, there are little tweaks here and there, but yes, you can go there.
Pop. And let me just tell you something right now. Angie has done a fantastic job with this website. She has been learning as she's been going along, but let me tell you, it's a very professional looking motherfucker. Those show notes,
so much detail in that site, like pictures that y'all can see in reference to the show.
So, and the notes are fantastic. Andy and Angela get together on these notes while I be sitting back in the cut just watching.
And editing this show, which I have zero desire to even try. Oh my God.
But they get together with these show notes, and Angie does these like super detailed show notes that you damn near don't have to listen to the show, but it's much more fun when you do. I promise you.
Yes.
But yes, you're able to follow along with some of the things that we say, and when we talk about certain things, there's the pictures that are up there where you can kind of follow along with the pictures as well.
Go to the blog or where it says evidence.
Yes, where it says evidence. And relatively soon, when we have a whole 20 listeners, we're going to like get some merch and stuff like that. So we're kind of excited about that. Another thing that's personal.
If you want to email us, just go to the website and go to the contact page. There's a form for you to fill out, and just put your name and email,
and it sends it directly to all of us.
Topic is,
it sends it directly to all of us, and we can see that. So very proud of you, Angie. Thank you so much, Andy, and thank you so much, Andy, for helping out with the show notes and all of that other stuff. Ridiculously proud of you, bitches.
It's all Angie for real.
Is that it? Is that it about where they can find us? Okay,
that's
fuck that.
I was too busy being speechless.
Yes,
she was. And I'm like, no, it's not.
She's like, we love you.
Not used to compliments.
And with that, I have been your host, Toni.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andy. And be sure to drink your water.
Oh, yes. Drink your goddamn water.
And mind your fucking business.
Yes. Most importantly, chitty balls.
Look at as I open this up, we out.
Delicious.
I don't want that in my water.
Apparently it tastes like BC powder. I like that.